The Cape Peninsula University of Technology will be making budget cuts in the near future in order to sustain the financial well-being of the institution. These budget cuts will soon be affecting lecturers at the institution, whether they are part-time or permanent lecturers. Part of the blame for budget cuts have been laid on the doorstep of the Fees Must Fall movement. But Journalism Department Coordinator Jude Matherine has refuted these claims.
Exclusively of Fees Must Fall. CPUT already had a deficit prior to Fees Must Fall. And if you are following national debates, you'd also realize that the Vice-Chancellors of institutions have noted that it's not as a result of Fees Must Fall and the debt write-off, but that there is an issue more largely of the way that universities and higher education is funded. In other words, the funding model and subsidy for universities have actually been declining year on year since about 2000. So the net consequence of that is, as institutions, functional institutions like universities have more pressure put upon them to take in more students and do more with increasingly less staff, that campaigns like Fees Must Fall are not an exclusive cause, but they become a contributing factor.
He also confirmed that part-time lecturers' contracts will now be 6 months instead of a year.
Staff members' contracts for part-timers specifically were adjusted so that they are not annual contracts now, but semester-based contracts, which will be reviewed in June. There's absolutely no indication from the institution that those contracts will be dropped after June, but there's also no indication from the institution that they will resume. There has to be a process of internal review, however, which is taking place within the institution to determine whether or not full-time staff members and contract staff members that are working are essentially working to capacity and at a full workload.
Some lecturers refused to be recorded on camera as they feared some backlash from the university. They, however, did claim that infrastructure at the university was horrendous and not conducive for teaching. They also stressed that the 6-month contract leaves them feeling anxious as they don't know if their contracts will be renewed. Part-time journalism lecturer Gustav Swart is one of the lecturers facing contractual changes and explains the working conditions at CPUT.
But it has become very frustrating over the last 2 years with the 90% salary decrease, which does somewhat change your attitude to the job, and now instability over my contract and its duration. At the same time, the university is looking to phase out part-time staff over the next 3 years because of its financial woes, which will create a greater teaching load for the full-time staff and lower the quality of teaching that students receive. So my 5 years was going to come to an end either way. I'm just not sure who's going to replace me and how.
He also explains that these changes will have a huge impact on the quality of work being taught to students.
Friends think I'm an idiot for still teaching here. I could be earning 10 to 15 times as much at other institutions. But I'm very committed to these particular students. For one thing, I picked them. And secondly, I want this program to be a center of excellence in a field of mediocrity. The country needs good journalists. And those journalists aren't going to be coming out of Rhodes, they need to come out of here in order to get an authentic South African experience. We don't want another generation of model Seabrats telling the country what to think and feel for the next 20 years. We need an authentic South African journalistic voice. So I'm very committed to teaching here as opposed to just teaching.
Permanent lecturer and cultural analyst Dr. Ashraf Jamal shares why he chose to work at CPUT.
I've chosen to be here because I was born in Athlone, was born in the Cape Flats, and I feel a commitment to the people who come from this region, and largely the poorer people who come from this region. That's why I chose to teach at a technicum. Why? Because not only is it the most affordable place in which to study, it's also a place that is vocationally driven. And for me, the importance is to find a way to teach people to get work. And for me, that's one of the greatest pleasures, and that's why I'm able to sleep well at night and wake up well in the morning knowing that I'm able to get people and help them to get jobs. So that's the key thing about teaching at one level.
At the end of the day, these budget cuts will affect students most.
Already there's been delays because even though we're all in second year, we don't have the same understanding. There are people who will be slacking down, so which need I believe they need like a feedback. Hey, look, you're lacking here, and there. But I don't foresee that happening this year. Because if you look at political reporting, politics also, it's a lot of work. And because there's investigation, meaning when you write something on politics, you have to properly reference, properly research and stuff. Also business reporting, business, like you have to analyze things. So imagine now we're about 40 in the class and we have only one lecture, 2 subjects. So I don't think she would cope.
A second-year journalism student didn't realize the consequences the Fees Must Fall March had on students.
Cope. We won't cope. Like even now we're struggling, so we won't cope. We're going to thank you, first of all. So I just feel sorry for us. Yeah, because it's going to get worse. It's getting worse, in fact. So it's going to affect our future. So yeah. Okay.
And I wouldn't blame, or I wouldn't put a blame on Fees Must Fall, as we mentioned before. I would say it's the university being irresponsible, because they cannot say it's issue of finances, or they can no longer afford those part-time lecturers, because
Second-year students fear that lecturers won't teach with the necessary passion if they are overworked and underpaid.
He's going to teach maybe 3 modules or whatever. It's work to that person, and he's not going to get paid for that. And if I'm not going to pay for whatever I'm doing, I won't do it with passion, because that is it's not in my timeline or whatever. But it's something you forced me to do. So I'm just going to do it because you told me to do it.
Robyn Lucas, CPUT.